Air traffic can follow all the rules and still carry surprising risk. Incidents can occur while doing everything right. Aria is a cutting-edge new platform that uses state-of-the-art technology to see the risk beyond compliance. For example, IFR/VFR ops can be compliant but risky. Compliant separation standards can lead to TCAS events.
Fly.
Aria allows us to see the national airspace system more clearly, highlighting risk. This greater insight makes us less reactive and more predictive. Aria makes safety smarter with data-driven, risk-based decision-making. Aria, the science of safety.
In this video, you will learn about Aria and how it impacts the facility. Aria will help quality assurance identify operations that exhibit potential risk instead of just looking at whether or not an event was compliant. This aggregate data will be made available to field facilities. Processes have been created to promote cooperative discussions between the facility and QA in reviewing systemic risk. Rather than gathering and evaluating data based solely upon compliance standards, the FAA has adopted a risk-focused approach to collecting and analyzing data. Therefore, it is important to review the roles and responsibilities of those that collect and analyze that data. Quality control, or QC, is performed at the facility level. They operate as part of air traffic services. QC identifies areas of success and system risk. They are also responsible for collecting technical performance data to measure facility performance. The Quality Control Group, or QCG, is located at offices in the 3 service centers. They operate on behalf of mission support. QCGs will continue to be responsible for external compliance verifications, or ECVs. However, since ECVs are data-driven, they will no longer be conducted every 2 years, but as warranted. QCG will identify and deliver facility non-compliance information and risk data to both the Service Center Directors of Operation and field facilities. QCG will also assess the effectiveness of any facility-developed corrective action plan. Quality Assurance, or QA, is located at offices in the 3 service centers. They operate on behalf of safety and technical training. QA is responsible for reviewing mandatory occurrence reports, or MORs, for significance and for reviewing data produced by Aria, which is being implemented in fiscal year 2021. Aria captures all operational interactions between aircraft, regardless of compliance. Let's look at a few of these operations. In the first situation, because of the distance between runway center lines, staggered final approach separation is required. Assuming that visual separation is not applied, standard separation is lost between the 2 aircraft. In this instance, single final approach course required separation is 3 miles. Again, assuming that visual separation is not applied, separation is lost due to compression on final. Though both of these operations are non-compliant, both exhibited negligible risk. Now, let's look at a few examples of compliant operations. However, Aria will now be able to capture these interactions to determine potential risk. In this situation, aircraft are at the same altitude on converging courses. Both aircraft responded to a traffic alert and collision avoidance system, or TCAS resolution advisory, or RA, and separation is never lost. The current traffic analysis and review program, or TARP system, would not capture this event. This represents an actual operation that was captured by Aria. TCAS, operating as a barrier, may have been the only thing that prevented these 2 aircraft from colliding. In this last instance, IFR/VFR separation is being applied in Class C airspace. The required separation is 500 feet, target resolution or visual separation. At no time was separation lost between these two aircraft. Though both of these operations were compliant, Aria would have captured the interaction to determine potential risk. Aria is a computer system that analyzes surveillance data. It utilizes algorithms that examine the geometry between aircraft, and it incorporates factors such as speed, altitude, and trajectory in order to identify operations that exhibit potential risk, even if deemed compliant. Aria determines the point of a potential risk when the aircraft are projected to merge, not when the aircraft are at their closest proximity. Aria detects all tagged aircraft, regardless of flight rule. However, during the initial implementation, only IFR to IFR operations will be reviewed. VFR operations will be phased in at a later date. With the shift to risk-based decision-making and the implementation of Aria, these compliance-based items have been eliminated: RAE, TARP, and EOR. What is new? Preliminary Aria reports, or PARs, are generated when operational interactions between aircraft exhibit potential risk and require further review. Those PARs, validated to have potential risk, will be forwarded for Barrier Analysis Review, or BAR. BARs are the means by which Aria data is evaluated to determine actual risk. A Combined Safety Barrier Review, or CSBR, is the process whereby aggregate BAR data can be reviewed in a cooperative setting between QA and the facility. The intent is to have local subject matter experts participate in analyzing data and developing mitigations. Though Aria brings change to the conversation of safety, it does not change how a controller performs his or her daily operations. Nor does it change reporting requirements or separation standards. What it does change is the FAA's commitment to risk-based decision-making by placing more value on discovering why adverse safety occurrences happen and identifying risk, rather than determining who was at fault.